They called it the Marrow House. It stood at the edge of town, hidden behind a cluster of dead trees that no one ever cut down. For years, the townspeople said it was cursed. People went in, but they never came out. The Larson family was the last to live there, a husband, a wife, and their little girl. One night, all three vanished. The lights in the house stayed on for a week, and then, just like that, the place went dark. After that, no one touched it. Not until 15 years later, when the city finally ordered it torn down. The demolition crew arrived one gray morning, joking, smoking, just another job on their list. But even they went quiet when they saw the place up close. The walls leaned, but not enough to fall. The windows were black, not dusty, like they were covered from the inside. And there was this smell, not rot, not mold, just something old, breathing. They started the work anyway. Hammers, chains, drills, all breaking, splintering, collapsing. By nightfall, the house was nothing but a pile of rubble. The foreman looked at the empty lot and said, "Good riddance." They packed up and left. The next morning, when he drove by to check the site, he slammed his brakes so hard the truck skidded sideways. The house was back, the same crooked walls, the same porch swing swaying gently in the wind. The Marrow House stood exactly as it had before. Only this time the lights were on. He called the crew. They came running, arguing, cursing. One of them swore it was a prank. Another said they were at the wrong address. But when they stepped onto the porch, they froze. There were photo frames on the walls, brand new ones with faces inside, not the Larsons. The faces were theirs. Each worker in the photos was smiling, but not naturally. Their eyes were just a little too wide, their mouths a little too forced, like someone had taken a moment of fear and painted a grin over it. They went inside. Everything was clean, not a trace of dust, no sign of demolition. The furniture was there. The dishes were in the sink. There was even a cup of coffee still steaming on the table. One of them said, "Someone's been living here." The others didn't answer. They couldn't, because from upstairs they heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, coming closer. They climbed the stairs together, flashlights trembling, hearts pounding. The hall was empty, except for the mirrors. Dozens of them, framed floor-length, standing against every wall. The men stared into them, but something was wrong. Their reflections weren't copying their movements. The reflections were standing still, heads tilted, smiling. The lights flickered. The air went cold. One of them whispered, "Let's go." But it was too late. The doors slammed shut all at once. When the lights came back, the mirrors were empty. No reflections, no faces, just glass. Days passed, or maybe weeks. They couldn't tell. Every time they tried to leave, they woke up again inside the house. Every morning the sun rose over the same clean walls. Every night the house rebuilt itself, fresh and perfect. They tried burning it. They tried smashing the mirrors, tearing up the floors. Nothing worked. The house always came back, and so did they. They stopped talking after a while. There was nothing left to say. Only one of them kept recording, his voice quiet, broken. He said, "The house doesn't stay dead, and neither do we. The video ends there. The police never found the crew. The lot is empty again now, fenced off with warning signs, overgrown with weeds. But sometimes, when the fog rolls in, people say you can still see it, the outline of the Marrow House standing against the trees, lights flickering in the windows. And if you look long enough, you'll see faces watching back. Not the Larsons, not the workers, new ones.